Welcome back to Leonard Brothers Game. I'm David.
I'm John.
And this episode, I'm probably going to spend a little more time because when I was recording the previous episode, at least set, I recorded a few with the Resident Evil game. And I was trying to get a solo discussion about video games and consoles and where I think the next set should go and on and some kind of different takes, at least gaming wise, where things should go. But of course, none of the recordings ever worked, so I was pretty much repeating myself several times and not getting any actual usable content. So I'm going to try to do it here because this is actually working and it's been extremely successful. I think it's your character, John. I'm going to have to say that's entirely luck that's keeping us going here, recording so many episodes at this point. We're up to episode 8, believe it or not.
And it's still recording well.
And it's still recording well. We haven't had to quit or restart or do anything, so it's like we've been extremely fortunate. So anyways, with the way that the consoles and so on have been going so far, at least with the PS4 and the Xbox One, I think they've been playing it safe. What I was really hoping that they would do is make a few more significant changes, because obviously the difference between the PS2 and the PS3, or at least the original Xbox and the Xbox 360, are just monumental in the differences. You can tell like the difference between standard and high definition, the processing, the graphics, the hard drive, the online connectivity is just like one of the biggest leaps and bounds in progression in terms of gaming. But the PS4 and the Xbox One, they don't seem that different, honestly. I look at them and it's just they're just more of the same, but I'm already used to use.
Yes.
With the PS3 and 360, and a lot of the games even right now at this point, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Call of Duty Ghosts, most of them are almost, if not identical, to their current gen. I still say that's next gen, even though people will automatically say that the second the system has come out. I don't think it's particularly that permeated, at least into the gaming industry as of yet. Not that many people have a PS4 or an Xbox One, even despite it being a good holiday Christmas gift or whatever. They gain karma. Huh?
Gain karma by killing the undead.
Clearly. Anyways, I was hoping, especially someone like Microsoft, for as long as they were making controversial decisions of always online and always DRM and searching all kinds of stuff that people did not like, and I don't particularly like either. But if they're going to go that way, they could have really shaken up the gaming industry in general. Wouldn't necessarily get the system, especially being the Xbox One. I've never really been a fan of Microsoft or the Xbox. I just pick it up when it's cheaper, and whatever few games I'm actually interested in system-wise, I actually pick those up. And unlike a lot of people, the only games I pretty much play anymore are Kinect games. A lot of people really hate the Kinect, but I think it's certainly a unique experience that, for what few games do work well on the Kinect, they can be quite enjoyable. So I do have high hopes for Kinect 2.0, but I also think that as a whole, the hardcore gamer sees no use or purpose in it beyond voice commands. And if you're just doing voice commands, you don't need a high-tech camera to raise the price of your system by $100. You just need a good microphone and good voice.
Well, they're trying to sell it as being a complete system for entertainment system, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're trying to be like all in one. It has the HDMI in and HDMI out to hook up your not the cable box if you have cable, or some other device that you want to have playing through, so you can actually have split screen playing your game on one side and watching TV on another, or having a conversation over Skype because Microsoft owns Skype, so you have like Skype calls between systems and stuff. But what I was really hoping for was...
What were you really hoping for,
What
Dave?
was I really hoping for?
Yeah, do tell.
Solid state drives. That they would get rid of the optical drive. I mean, it's nice that the Xbox One has a Blu-ray drive. And
We do love Blu-ray.
obviously, I mean, but at least one of the systems, not saying all the systems should, but Microsoft was pretty much in the perfect kind of position to forego having a Blu-ray drive instead of having a spinning, like, 500 gig or a terabyte drive that is user replaceable, and a solid state drive that is also user replaceable, like 80, 100 gig. To have like the 3 or 4 games you play the most on the solid state drive that basically like load instantaneously, and you can have all the rest of the games as backups or for more games, and you can swap them out whenever you need to. If you want to have like a different game to load up automatically, that'd be nice to have that kind of feature. Plus, the price of games could be lowered in general because no optical drive means no shipping, manufacturing discs, no shelf space, no store advertising. You could cut at least 10 or 20 bucks off the price of the average game by just having people download it. And of course, a lot of people would say, like, well, where's the used market going to come from?
Where's the used market going to come from?
They could very easily. I mean, what Steam is actually suggesting, and a lot of people,
David.
yeah.
What does Steam suggest?
Well, they're going to have a used marketplace that when you're buying the game, you buy a license, and that when you want to sell that game, you sell it back at whatever predetermined. If it's a brand new $40 or $50 game, say you get like 20 or 25 bucks back from it, and say that money is entirely into, in Steam's case, a Steam gift card, or in Microsoft's case, a Microsoft, the Xbox Live card. You'd only be selling games to get money to buy more games. And then you take that license, put it on a used section, and say if someone's already purchased it and resold it, and say knock the price down to 40 instead of 50. There you go. People buy the individual license and are able to make some money back off of it, at least as much as they could off of the physical copy. And the best part would be that manufacturers will still get the money, because when you sell a used copy to GameStop or to GameSwap or whatever other company, they make 100% of that profit. The developers and the publishers and stuff, they don't see any of that money. But if there were a used digital game market that the individual companies, Sony and Microsoft, could set up, then they could send some of the proceeds from that used sale right back to the people who made it.
That's true.
But of course, there's also the issue of people want physical copies of games. I mean, obviously, we have a beautiful Blu-ray library. We want, to be able to pop a disc in and not have to worry about it being DRM and stuff, or restricted. Which is why I also think they should have the opportunity to, especially in Microsoft's case, they want to make everything uniform. So the Xbox One is based around Windows 8. You got Windows 8 phones, you got Windows 8 tablets, you got Windows 8 computers, and now you have Windows 8 consoles. If they're all truly interconnected, it could all be like on the same account. And so when you buy a game, you should be able to, if people worry about not being able to back up their games, you should be able to download it from any Windows 8 device. Microsoft's having a really tough time trying to sell Windows 8 to people. And if they were truly to integrate it in that fashion and say, hey, you want a game for your Xbox One, you can go to the Microsoft Store on any of these other Windows 8 devices, buy that game, download it on anybody else's network, and then send it to your system.
That sounds delightful. Please, tell me more.
Tell you more. Well, if Microsoft were to, because they are, Steve Ballmer is actually leaving the company. He's currently the CEO, and a lot of people are tired with his poor decisions, and nobody knows yet who is going to replace him. But sometime this year, there's going to be a lot of shakeup over at Microsoft, and a lot of people, because apparently Bill Gates is still on the board of trustees and stuff like that, so he's still got,
Well, yeah.
obviously, but apparently the new CEO and other board of directors want to kick both Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer out, because for the first time ever, the company is losing a significant amount of money, and all of these poor business decisions are just completely falling apart around. And I figure if somebody were to make these kind of drastic changes and decisions and try to make these deals with the developers and developers, and of course, it's past time, so we'll continue this discussion on the next episode of Leonard Brothers Game. Until then, happy gaming.